What is going on, guys? Welcome back to part 3 of Cloud Storage Development series. Now today I actually decided not to script this part because first of all I'm kind of behind the schedule because the first time I tried recording the whole thing my whole system pretty much just crashed because I had too much stuff open and yeah, it just ran out of RAM. And second of all, because I'm too lazy to actually write everything down and then read it out and blah 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 blah. So I'll just go off script for now and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so today we're actually going to be setting up the actual project, so the Laravel project, and we're going to set it up to work with React.js. So first what you want to do is open up your open up VirtualBox, click on your virtual machine, the one you created in the last part. By the way, if you haven't seen the last two parts, make sure you watch them. I'll make sure to put a card up in the top right corner. But what you want to do is click on start and just wait for it to load. I'll probably cut this part out or speed it up or something. But yeah. Alright, so Ubuntu just started up. By the way, I closed like pretty much everything I had open, especially Google Chrome, because I had like 50 tabs open, and as you probably know, Google Chrome loves to eat up your RAM, so I just closed that so we don't get another crash like last time. So just log in, and I actually had to reset up this whole virtual machine because the first one, when I was recording for the first time, it actually crashed mid setup. So I just reset everything. So I'm just gonna quickly set up my network configuration again. Once this loads up, come on, there we go. So I just have to reconfigure my network because I have a static IP and that can be a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. Okay, so 192.168.1.1.6. Net masks should be 24, gateway 192.168.1.1. There we go. DNS, we're going to be using Google's DNS. And that's it, just save it. Should get a connection established. Come on. Come on. Let's re-enable network. There we go. We got a connection. Perfect. Okay, so first what you want to do, press Ctrl-Alt-T, or you can just go up here, this top left icon, and just search for terminal, and you have it right there. I just like the shortcut Ctrl-Alt and T. We'll put it somewhere on the screen. So we're going to clear this. So first what we want to do is update our system. So we're going to do sudo apt-get update. Enter your password, the one you... god damn it. So when it asks you for your password, you should use the same one you used to log in. But as you can see, we're getting a certain error here. Now usually you can fix it by just retrying it. We'll see if this works, because sometimes, yeah, okay. So right, if you get this error, just do what I'll do. It's not recommended, but since this is a virtual machine and we can like set it up again anytime, it doesn't really matter if we do this or not. So we're gonna just remove it, force lib apt lists. Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh yeah, lists lock. So we're just gonna delete the lock file, and now if we run it again, bam, there we go. Working perfectly fine. Now run the same thing, just do sudo apt-get upgrade, and there we go. If it asks you, do you want to continue, just press Y and enter. And this is just gonna install all relevant packages. This might take a couple of minutes to complete, so I'll be back when it's done. Oh, and while this is installing, we can just go up here to view, and we can switch to full screen mode. By the way, whenever in VirtualBox, whenever you see host plus something, the host key is usually your right control key. You can see it right here in the bottom right. It says right control. So that's basically the host key. That was kind of confusing when I first started using VirtualBox, so I hope it helps you. Okay, so now we'll install some things that we need for development. So we're just gonna do the same thing, sudo apt-get. This time we're gonna install PHP mb string. We're gonna do, no, we don't need nginx. We're gonna need, no, never mind, that's not in the repo. So we're gonna install PHP mb string. That should be everything. There we go. So we're just gonna install this. We can move it to the side, and in the meantime, we can open up a browser. So since this isn't scripted, you'll actually see how I go about doing things, because I obviously can't remember everything off the top of my head. So we're gonna go to laravel.com. This is the PHP framework we're gonna be using, and we're gonna go here to documentation. There we go. I'm actually gonna go full screen, and here we go, installation. We got some server requirements, and actually we are gonna be running, I think we're gonna be running 5.5, so we can just switch to that version in the top right corner, and there we go. We got PHP 7.0 or newer, and as you can see in our terminal, you can see we installed PHP 7.0, since this is the latest version we can get from the Ubuntu repo, and we're not going to actually be bothering with installing newer versions. OpenSSL should already be installed, PDO should be installed, MB string we already installed it, tokenizer I think that's already installed, and XML we're going to do that one, I forgot about that one. Sudo apt-get install PHP XML. There we go. Okay, so next we need to install Composer, which is a PHP library management or package management tool. So we're gonna go install Composer, can't even type, on Ubuntu. And here we go, the DigitalOcean guide. I love DigitalOcean guides, by the way. They're really easy to follow and provide you some great information. Okay, so we need to install curl and git, so sudo apt-get install curl and git. There we go. You're getting this because of the background software update, so I'll be back once this finishes. Okay, so we're gonna restart later. So let's rerun this. There we go, install it. Bam. So we're installing curl and git. Once that finishes, we can actually just download and install Composer. So let's do that. Copy this, paste it, bam. Downloading, perfect. Yeah, so let's do Composer. Oops. I mean, yeah, see, it works. We have Composer version 1.6.4, which is perfect. So we have that, and next we're gonna install Node Version Manager. Here we go. This is because the official Ubuntu repository only contains a very old version of Node.js and NPM, but we need the newest version, or the latest version. So we're gonna use Node Version Manager, which is super easy to install, and we're gonna use it to get the latest versions. So let's run this command. Bam, paste. So we're downloading, perfect. Clear this. Now we need to close the terminal and open it again. NVM, perfect. And if we do nvm install node, this should install the latest version of Node.js and npm. There we go. As you can see, we're installing version 9.11.1. There we go, perfect. We have it. So if we run node-v, we get version 9.11, and npm, so node package manager, we get version 5.6. Awesome. So we have this set up. Next, we need to create our project. Yeah, finally. So what we're gonna do is use Composer to do it. So Composer, create project, prefer distribution, prefer distribution Laravel. There we go, prefer distribution Laravel. And we're gonna name it Cloud Storage. Bam. And this should automatically download and install the latest version of Laravel. Well, actually not the latest, but the latest that we can run. So for us, as you can see, it's version 5.5 since we only have PHP version 7. And the latest version, which is 5.6, actually requires PHP 7.13, which we do not have. So actually Composer makes sure we get the latest compatible version. Okay, so we're done, finally. So we can clear it, there we go. And we can change the directory to the cloud storage, there we go. By the way, if you see just things like, for example, if I do this, if you just see me like type a couple of letters and then the whole thing appears, that's because I'm pressing tab. Tab basically is autocomplete. So in this case, since if we open up our files, you can see cloud storage is the only folder in here, or file or whatever, that starts with CLO. So when I press tab, it automatically knows I want this one. So that's just a tip, it makes things a bit faster. So we can go in here now, and since this is a new version of Laravel, it automatically created an environment configuration file for us. So we can just do nano.env, and this is the configuration file. You can move around it with using arrow keys on your keyboard, and it also generated an app key for us already, which is great because in the older versions it didn't do that. So first we're going to just change the app name. We're going to put it in double quotation marks since we're going to be using a space in there, and we're going to just say cloud storage, whatever. This is all configured correctly already. Here we're just going to do :8000. We're going to configure our database. Yeah, we're going to do that now. So DB database is going to be cloud_storage, and the username the same. There we go. The password, we're just gonna go to random.org/strings. There we go. Oops. There we go. And we're gonna generate a 20 character long random string with numeric digits, uppercase letters and lowercase letters. There we go. We're gonna just take a random one, copy it, right click and paste. There we go. By the way, pasting stuff in the terminal only works if you right click and paste. It won't work if you press Ctrl+V. So this is all correct. We're gonna configure emails a couple of episodes later because it's not too crucial right now. And this is it. So we're just gonna press Ctrl+X to exit, and it's gonna ask us if we want to save changes. Press Y for yes and press enter. So now we configured our project, and next we actually need to install Sublime Text. This is something I forgot to install earlier. So this is just a very nice text editor I like to use. sudo apt-get. Actually, I think this will not work. Yeah, never mind. So we're gonna Google it again, Sublime Text, there we go. Should have gone to download, but whatever. There we go, download. And Linux repos 64-bit. Nope, not this one, just Linux repos, there we go. So we're looking for apt. So install the GPG key, copy this whole thing, paste it in here, bam. We get an OK, that means it was successful. Now we should install the HTTPS transporter. Done, it was already installed, oops. And we're gonna be installing the stable release. Paste that, done. And that's it. So now we just need to run a sudo apt-get update to get the latest repository info or package info or whatever. And now, come on, text. Now we can actually install it. Perfect. There we go, come on. And we are done, awesome. So now if we type sub-L, as in Sublime, we get this nice editor. I'm actually gonna right click on here and lock to launcher. So even if we close it, we still have it right here, which is perfect. And I'm actually gonna do the same for the terminal. There we go. So yeah, that's perfect. And we can actually do sub-l.env. So you can edit the configuration in here as well. So now let me walk you through the project and how it's set up. So we're gonna open it up in the File Explorer since it will be easier for you to see everything. So this is the basic project that we just created. We're basically gonna only use a couple of things in here. First is this one, webpack.mix.js, sorry. So first we're actually just gonna open, shit, this is something we need to fix in a future video. So we need to set Sublime as the default text editor, but we'll do that next time because I can't really remember how to do it off the top of my head, nor can I find a good tutorial on it, because I know I struggled with it when I was doing it on my laptop. So we're just gonna drag and drop this file into Sublime for now. So this is just a mix file. It's basically the file that takes all of our code and then compiles it, or actually tells npm how to compile it, basically. Well, not npm, but Babel and Webpack, basically. So what we need to add in here is just mix.disable success notifications. There we go. This is just gonna make things less annoying, because I like to save things pretty much every 3 seconds. I keep smashing the Control S, and that just keeps popping up a success message in the top right corner, and it kind of gets annoying, so this will actually disable it. There we go. Next, what we need to look at is routes. Okay, so we have different types of routes in here. We're mostly gonna use API routes, but we'll also use a couple of web routes, or actually probably just one web route. Basically what routes are, for example, if you look at this URL here, you see laravel.com, that's the domain name, and then /docs, oops, and I just messed it up, great, /docs/5.5. This is essentially a route. It tells Laravel which files to serve based on what the path up here is. You'll see this you'll understand it. It will be easier for you to understand once we actually start using these. So we have, we have API routes, which for now we're actually gonna just modify this a bit. So we're gonna delete everything in here. You can just say route prefix. So we're gonna be versioning our API. So I'm gonna do version 1 and group. Inside here we're gonna do function, and inside here that's where our routes or our version 1 API routes will go. You don't have to worry about any of this right now. You don't have to understand what it means. You just need to basically copy it. So I'll explain it once we get there. Then in the web routes, in the web routes, pretty much the same thing. So we'll get to this pretty soon in a future video. Then we have, let's see, the config file. This just contains a whole bunch of configuration files, which we're probably not gonna use at all. So yeah, maybe we might use them a couple of times, but not that crucial. The database, we're mostly gonna be using the migrations here. And actually, let's delete these two migrations. Database migrations basically take care of creating the required database tables once the project is installed on the server. Then factories, we're not going to use them at all, nor will we use seeds. So we can go out of there. Then app, this is where all of our PHP code will be. As you can see here, we have a user model. This is basically useless to us at the moment, so we can just delete it. We'll be writing our own in the future. So this is where our models will be. Here in the HTTP, we have a controllers folder, which contains all of our controllers, which is where most of our PHP code will be. And as you can see, we have an auth thingy here. You can just delete it. There we go. It's useless to us since we'll be again writing our own. And then lastly, we have resources, which is where all of our JavaScript will live, as well as our HTML and Blade script. So if we look at this welcome.blade.php view, we have the basic welcome or whatever screen from Laravel. Here in assets, we have our JavaScript, blah blah blah. We'll take care of this in a future video. Lang, you can actually make a multilingual website with Laravel, but we're again not going to be using this. And this is pretty much it as far as project structure goes. It might look overwhelming now, but I promise it's really simple and easy to grasp. So before I end this video, we just need to do one last thing I forgot. So if you go here in resources, assets, JS, and components, you can see we have an example component.view. Now Laravel is by default configured to work with Vue, which is a front-end framework, kind of like React.js, except that React.js is a bit more powerful than Vue, actually quite a bit more powerful than Vue, so we're going to be using React instead. And also, I don't know much about Vue, so I always prefer React. So how we're going to do that is just go back to the terminal, make sure we're in our project folder, and just type php artisan preset react. Bam. As you can see, this changed it into example.js, which is a React component. So now, as you can see, it's instructed us to run these two commands, and we'll do that. npm install. We're gonna run them separately, even though we could do it at the same time, because I want to do something a bit different. So let's wait for that to finish. Might take a bit. It has a couple of JavaScript packages to install. And you'll see actually in here, there we go, a node_modules folder appeared. This is where all of our JavaScript libraries or packages will be put or downloaded or whatever. So just give it a couple of more minutes or seconds to finish. Okay, awesome. As you can see, it actually added 1,554 new packages. This is pretty much everything we need to start development. Start with development, so that's great. And now we just want to test it out to see if it actually works. So what I'm gonna do is bring this terminal over here and do PHP artisan serve and press enter. As you can see, this will start a development server on our local host on port 8000. Now if you remember, when we went oopsie, here, as you can see, app URL is localhost colon 8000. That's why that 8000 is over there. Now it would work if we wouldn't have put it there, sorry, but I just like to do it. So this terminal, we'll just keep it open and just minimize it so it can run in the background. And then the second one, we're gonna do npm run watch. Press enter and wait for it to compile. I'll also move it right here. Now this will actually take all of our JavaScript and SCSS and compile it down to a single JavaScript file, as you can see here, and to an app.css, so a style sheet file, cascading style sheet. We can also leave this running in the background. It will basically wait for us to edit the code, and whenever it detects any change in the code, it will actually compile the whole thing again, so we can just refresh it in our browser and we'll see the updated code. So now if we open up our browser and go to localhost colon 8000, there we go. We can see the Laravel welcome page. Now if you recall, right here in resources, views, we have this welcome.blade.php file. This is what this page is, basically. And this is our project setup, basically. I just said basically like a million times. Wow, good job me. But yeah, this is our project setup. We're ready to start developing, and we'll do that next time. We'll actually start designing our database and then implementing that design as in the form of migrations right in here, database migrations. So that's what we're gonna do next time. So please let me know in the comments down below if you like this style better, so just me speaking without a script, or should I stick to scripts. Let me know what you like better. Make sure to subscribe, because more of these videos are coming. I'm hoping to put out one every week, so one every Monday at 10 PM Central European Standard Time. And yeah, like this video, share it, and see you guys next time. Okay, and one more thing I forgot to mention. Don't actually, we want to keep this the way it is, so we don't have to reopen everything next time. So just go down here, you can just push your mouse to the bottom middle, so this bar pops up if you're in full screen, otherwise it will be at the top. We can actually just get out of full screen like this, and we can just go to file and close and do save the machine state. This will actually preserve everything we have done so far and just preserve all the software. It will remain open. It's kind of like hibernating your computer, so just press OK. We'll start saving it, so next time you open it, it'll be the way it is when you left it.